TV party tonight! What? TV party tonight!
Oh, we got nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews.
Don't want to talk about anything else!
We don't want to know!
We're dedicated, yes,
To our favorite shows!
Oh, my tickets!
Everybody loves Diplo Toes!
Scary dog!
Dancing at Blurnsville!
Futurama!
Good evening. You are listening to an American Whammy production. Yeah, I have a lot to catch you up on. Sheehan.
Whoa.
Yes, American Whammy, not Radulich and Broadcasting Network, not no more. I am Borg. I have lost my identity.
There you go.
So once again, from the top,
How does this work with my contract? Does this affect my contract any?
You get more hookers, is my understanding. The hooker budget increased. Okay. I can't speak to the cocaine. That you're gonna have to talk to Brian about.
Okay.
American Whammy production TV party tonight. I'm your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. Yay, I got to keep my actual name.
We're just gonna call you Radulich from now on. You don't have a first name anymore.
Damn it,
Yeah, I love it. That's what we're doing.
And our favorite show tonight, is WWE WrestleMania Backlash 2022, brought to you by the good people at WWE and Peacock. This was main evented by The Bloodline, Roman Reigns, and the Usos with Paul Heyman versus Drew McIntyre and his big throbbing sword and RK Bro. And speaking of throbbing swords, I am joined by the one and only Chris Sheehan. How do you do, sir?
Oh, throbbing everywhere. Throbbing every which way but loose. This was a show.
Yeah. This was definitely a show that had matches and wrestlers on it.
I'm almost convinced, yeah. Kind of a sandwich of a show, but a show.
Yeah, definitely a sandwich.
Yeah.
Ham on rye. And speaking of ham on rye, broadcasting from an underground bunker from an undisclosed location, ladies and gentlemen, from our Canadian office, so he says, we'll never know. Chris Bailey, how do you do, sir?
I prefer the term if we're setting up a new network. I use the term Discord hero. That's my new name. Okay, can we just go with that?
Can we get like the Foreigner song, but like change it? He's a Discord hero. Come on, Sheehan, sing it with me. I know you know this one.
Discord hero. Hey, no, listen, man, I'm doing good. And listen, boy, do we got a show, WrestleMania Backlash. I already hate the name of the pay-per-view, so boy, I can't wait to get my review out there.
What kills me about this one is, for years and years and years, and I know we all got places to be. We all got hot dates. You know, Chris is seeing a doctor. I don't know. Big sexy doctor, right, Chris?
Oh yeah. I'm getting it sucked today. All the blood. All the blood.
Yes! Wait! You get specials. Very good.
Listen. If she's sucking everything, including all the blood, it's too tight, bro. It's too tight.
I mean, some of us like it rough. All I'm saying.
Good Lord.
Man to man, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm sure because Bailey's in his undisclosed location, he's got junk to fondle, much like Jesse Starcher. But this is but this is junk that he fondles and then sells to people. So,
is Jesse wrestling tonight? That's what I need to know.
Is Jesse wrestling?
Yeah, Alpha Academy.
No.
Oh God! All right, welcome to Inside Joke Cast. My point was, and then we can get into the show because let's quit wasting time. It used to just be Backlash for years and years and years. It was just Backlash, right? And I know we've complained about this before, but it just bears repeating. Why they thought the need to remind everybody it's WrestleMania Backlash? Like,
I tell you why. It's the TNA theory.
How does adding WrestleMania to the title help in any way, shape, or form?
Because listen, when you're looking at a TV guide and everything is abbreviated, the first words you're going to see is WrestleMania, and you're clicking that button. Oh my God, WrestleMania is on twice this year. Holy shit. Then you realize wait a second, there's a 3-man tag in the main event. Where's Austin? Where's Owens? And then you're confused, but your money's gone.
All right. So your thesis here is that it's done to trick idiots into buying the pay-per-view.
Correct.
That's a solid theory.
It's the Jerry Jarrett TNA theory.
Okay.
Look, we'll put tits and ass here, and you'll get professional wrestling, but your money's gone.
Damn it, snookered again by the evil television people.
Third week in a row.
So, Sheehan, you've always got such great opinions. I do enjoy them. That is 100% true. That is not facetious in any way, shape, or form. Neither is me saying that that's not facetious.
Okay.
But I have to know. I have to know, Tommy. What are your thoughts on Cody Rhodes being back now? And I ask you that because my son watched this pay-per-view with me, and he's 8-year-old, very insightful. He's like a 65-year-old man in an 8-year-old body. And he looked at Seth Rollins and he looked at Cody Rhodes, and he's like, between the one guy that looks like a peacock and the one guy with the bad neck tattoo, I don't know why you watch this crap. You're witness, sir.
I'm happy to see him back. I didn't think I was going to be. I did actually watch the his promo on the first Raw after Mania and thought it was very, very good.
Yep.
And I'm happy that they haven't really stopped with him yet. Like that's what Reddit told us was going to happen. That's what Meltzer told us was going to happen. It's like, oh, he'll be back and then he'll be just another guy.
Yeah.
He still feels special. And I mean, I know it's only been a month, but a month may as well be 5 years in WWE time. So the fact that he hasn't been buried, hasn't had a wig put on his head, hasn't been, forced to kiss someone's ass.
He's not wearing polka dots.
No polka dots, I think that's a sign of good faith. And he still feels like something that's being presented to us.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure that was going to be the case.
He feels like every bit the star that he became, that they presumably bought. And they're treating him like a star. I mean, he's not Brock Lesnar or anything, but
no,
I mean, he's also not. They don't have vignettes of him rebuilding a throne with brick by brick or anything like that.
Oh my God!
With a shirt that says "I'm sorry." So we'll keep going with you. We opened up with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Freakin Rollins. Jesus Christ! And this was 20 minutes and 45 seconds. I thought this was a hot opener. I thought I thought that. I don't know how much better or worse it was than the WrestleMania match, but I thought it was solid. And I think with the WWE, that's asking a lot these days. Yeah. Two guys that can work and put together a match and do 20 minutes and it not lose your interest at any given time. So I thought they did a good job, and it was one of the better matches of the night, Sheehan.
Oh yeah, they meshed very, very well. Of course, it was missing the special element of WrestleMania, the surprise, the shock that was missing, but it was a really solid match, and they worked really well together. You would think they were working together every single night forever. Right. They complemented each other so well. They both felt like stars here. And I haven't thought Rollins felt like a star in a long time. And I don't like Cody very much, but I can't deny it.
Do you still have to fight the urge to punch your television when he's on?
Less so.
Okay. So it's still there, but you're like, is he worth the new TV?
Yeah, it's not him like cupping his ear and like giving us a look. So it's like I can deal with it.
He's not taking advantage of a dead guy to.
Yeah, he's not exploiting poor Brody Lee's family and making it all about him. He's not solving racism. He's just wrestling.
Yeah, he's okay. What I liked about him in the WWE so far is that he hasn't talked about the first ever interracial child. God.
Was that a thing on AEW?
Bailey, you want to take a swing at that?
Oh boy, my God. They did everything in the world to alienate fans unintentionally towards Cody Rhodes. Because I mean, Brandy is pure character poison, and boy did they lay it on heavy and thick to the point where they actually had to turn him heel. Very, very fortunate, because it became the cool thing to do over in AEW to boo Cody Rhodes. Like, it was the thing to do. In fact, they did the Cena with him, where they intentionally kept him face and, still had him cutting babyface promos after the show, and the fans were booing his ass hardcore.
Rapping on it.
Brandy as well, same thing, man. Like, these people could not stand him.
Well, she's very talented.
Yes, she is. She
has definitely earned her notoriety through grit and determination and
good
talent.
Lord.
Yes.
Good Lord.
None of that was facetious either.
About this match. This match was really, really a good back and forth. Did it demand a sequel? I think right now you're at the point where it could. The finish was an actual pull of the tights, a roll up into a pull of the tights. So you got Cody giving Seth a taste of his own medicine with pulling the tights, or are they keeping that fan reaction in the back of their mind and, just holding off, pulling the trigger on a dirty Cody Rhodes? I think that, I think they're anticipating a little bit of backlash, and they're I'm probably shocked that they haven't gotten it yet. So, right now, face Cody is working quite well. I agree with you, Sheehan, that, this is not the same Cody Rhodes that pandered and, crapped all over AEW with, his pandering and his wife and, every single thing they could turn you. I mean, he had a show where he was basically a millionaire and flaunting his money. And he had Arn Anderson, this group of followers that he had, everything that he had was just annoying. And this Cody has dodged it, and he got the win here. And we have an out for Seth Rollins because he cheated. Are we going to get the third and final stanza of this all-important feud, gentlemen? That's what I need to ask.
So here's the thing about Cody Rhodes. I think he has natural douchey charisma.
Yes.
And I think when he tries to be a face, I think he has the same problem that Triple H has. When Triple H is a face, it's because we tacitly recognize that he's a good worker, that he knows the business. Like we appreciate Triple H. It's
like a lifetime achievement face turn.
Yeah.
Sort of like a Ric Flair.
It's like the welcome back thing. It's just like, oh, we've missed you. You're good at this. You've given I mean, like you're terrible, but we like you because you're terrible. You're really good at being terrible. So like I think about like Triple H, like in the Reign of Terror and stuff like that. Yeah, everyone wanted to strangle him in his sleep, but we all paid to see it. We paid to see Scott Steiner and Goldberg and all these other people beat the piss out of him, hopefully. And I think Cody Rhodes is cut from that same cloth, where we're like, we appreciate how talented you are in your terrible life. We appreciate the things that you try to do for wrestling, but you have such a natural douchey charisma. We want to pay to see other people beat the shit out of you. And I think I think moving him towards a heel, this is my point. I think moving him towards a heel role is actually would be the more natural move than trying to push him as a face, because then I think eventually the fans like, no. We appreciate you. We don't want to see you win. We don't
want to celebrate your victories.
No, yeah, right. We are paying good money to see your douchiness get kicked out of you. So the only other thing one thing I want to say about Seth Rollins is, for all the criticism that he gets, kind of like with his wife or his girlfriend,
well deserved criticism.
Is there anybody right now going, between your Kenny Omegas, your Will Ospreys, the workers out there that know how to put together a match? Everything else aside, personality aside, can get in there and always put together a 4-star technical match with all the drama and all the things that we come to appreciate about wrestling. I have to imagine Seth Rollins is in like top 5 in wrestling total. That includes all the guys from New Japan, Chris Bailey.
Ouch.
Come on.
It's a nuts and bolts style. It's a Ric Flair sandwich that I would call the same moves, same setup. I don't think you see anything new in one Seth Rollins match to the other. I think it's a formula. It's a WWE formula, of course. So, it's not speaking to his wrestling ability, because obviously the guy is super friggin' talented.
Let me put it to you this way. Does the man put on, if you strip everything else away, does he put on incompetent matches consistently?
He's good.
He's good. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
He is, and he's stuck in a formula, which is sad, because I think there's much more to Seth Rollins than this pandering, squeaking Riddler style character that he's in right now. I literally, you talk about go away heat. Ever since X-Pac back in the day, when he was doing his that faction he had going on there, the X Factor, I never wanted to punch somebody in the face. Man, I'm telling you, that was a douchebag level that will never be achieved here in 2022 until Seth Rollins, because, man, I want to put my fist right through the TV when this idiot comes on. But that's the gimmick. So he won. He wins.
Who am I doing right now? What am I doing right now? I'm Akeem the African Dream, baby.
There you are.
Oh, yeah, baby. Job sold, bro. You never get nothing in the end.
I met this lady and I told her quite a story. I said I love her forevermore. moving on. All right. We spent a lot of time on that because the rest of this is meh and not really worth a tremendous amount of discussion.
Pretty much.
What do you mean? Bobby Lashley versus Omos. People finally. Oh my God. Shoot me in the penis.
Not even in the dick, just shoot me in the penis. So Bobby Lashley versus Omos went almost 10 minutes. And
see what you did there.
Thank you. Hang on. Hang on. You're welcome. So Bobby Lashley wrestled a tree. And he did the best job he could. Like, Bobby Lashley, also not an incompetent wrestler. I think he's had some rough goes of it lately, and so people might be led to believe, if you have short memories, that Bobby Lashley can't wrestle. But he's had Brock Lesnar, who stopped wrestling 10 years ago, and is just trying to throw people hither and yon.
It's funny you said that because he's in a ring with a wrestler who makes him look like fucking Luthez.
Yeah, I know. And now he's wrestling a giant redwood. So I'm not going to shit all over this match. It's not good, but it's not Bobby Lashley's fault either, Sheehan.
Oh, you're 100% right. We saw this match at Mania, right?
Correct.
And it got worse. that match wasn't good by any stretch, but it wasn't what we had tonight or last night or whenever the hell the show was on. It was literally, like you said, it was like a man fighting a tree. And the tree, if it were a tree, it would have been more mobile. Because, no joke. Oh, it's like poor Lashley pummeling almost in the head, and he's like not selling anything, but not because I think that's supposed to be his character, but because I don't think he knows how.
Right. Or knew he was being hit.
I think he has the talent of tall, and that was it.
Right.
And it's like we
hang on. In defense of the talent of tall, you can't teach that.
You can't teach that. It's kind of like falling off a 15-foot ladder.
Right.
You can't teach that.
Exactly.
But it's just like,
I'm just wondering at what point this podcast gets so snarky it starts to eat itself.
Oh yeah. We're already eating the tail right now. Yeah.
Anyway,
we got MVP there. Wasn't really a factor unless I missed it. Did he really do a whole heck of a lot?
Providing some minimal distraction on the outside, just bad mouthing, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he interacted with Lashley at the very end of the match.
Yeah.
Might have even been after the match was over, but that was it.
Yeah, so it's like he doesn't add anything to this act. I know why he's with Omos, because Omos is a train wreck. You need something,
right?
Yes, but it's a waste of MVP. It's a waste of Lashley. What's the end goal with Omos? Are we going to have Universal Champion Omos?
So here's the deal. Every Giant Gonzalez needs a Harvey Whippleman. So you got the WrestleMania match in where, you had Bobby Lashley go over Omos. Now, what's the difference here? The difference is this is a new Omos, a more deadly, a dangerous. He's being coached by MVP, the former manager of Bobby Lashley. And by God, did he have his number? He did tonight. And a lesson was learned. So now we have a more vicious Omos here, and that's the story that's being told very poorly, I might add. But I managed to pull that out there of the WWE creative. So I guess they won. I guess their story got through to me, brother.
It did.
So yeah, as far as what's the end, I mean, I would imagine the end game is to get Omos in the ring with Roman Reigns, no? Or at the very least, Brock Lesnar.
Could you imagine?
Brock Lesnar would murder his ass. It would be so good.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar would so years ago on the Casual Heroes, we just sort of had a thought exercise about what if you put, it was Scott Steiner and somebody else and told both of them they were going over separately.
Did you say thought exercise?
Was it Goldberg and Steiner?
It might have been Goldberg and Steiner, where you put them together and you tell them kind of like Game of Thrones, you tell them individually that they're going over and to not sell the other guy. And what magic they would create. If Roman Reigns was in the ring with Omos and he was able to pull a decent match out of him, he'd have to retire, right? He'd have to just go to Hollywood.
You're done.
Acting.
Yeah, you're done.
You've reached the mountaintop. All right, next match. We can talk a little bit about this one, though. I don't have a lot to say about it. Edge versus the soccer mom, AJ Styles, by technical submission. Damian Priest was banned by ringside. Wink, not really. And then at the very end, we had a reveal that Chris Bailey's heartthrob, the woman that makes his quiver, speaking of having the blood sucked out of him, the man that makes his sword, the woman that makes his sword throb, Rhea Ripley, revealed herself to be part of Edge's burgeoning stable.
The woman who makes my mechanical pencil retract back into itself. Rhea Ripley. Terrible.
The woman that gives Bailey the vapors.
Yuck.
Revealed herself to be part of the burgeoning stable, and this match was a little less than 17 minutes. It was fine. AJ Styles is again in that like top 5, top 10 of people who can wrestle a broomstick and pull decent matches out of them. Edge, I've said this 110 times. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I still think like the WWE thinks Edge is like this big money draw superstar, and he thinks he can still go. I don't see any value in Edge anymore. I mean, he's a decent promo at this point. That's about all he's got left. He's got a name. People are fooled into thinking he's a real star when he isn't, and he's got decent promo skills. Bailey, you seem like you're chomping at the bit to describe in vascular detail how much you love Rhea Ripley. So go ahead.
Oh my God. Let me tell you about this match first of all. So these two have no purpose together. Like this feud is one of the least well-built feuds that have ever been. It's one of these ones that, hey, I attacked you one week, now I'm really upset, now we're going to fight. That's the basis of this entire feud. Now, Edge has sprinkled in a few layers with Damian Priest and now Rhea Ripley, and by God, where are we headed? You're going to ask, where are we headed? My God. Well, inevitably, we're going to end up with a three-way, okay? I think we're going to see Edge, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley take on, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and an ex-woman of choice. So is it going to be Alexa Bliss coming back? Who knows who it's going to be. But if, we're going to have that three-way. And here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're being set up like decoy dummies. They're trying to build this Judgment Day stable, okay? So far, we got 3 pieces of the puzzle in there. The next one coming in, I can guarantee you're going to see a heel turn with Finn Balor. They're playing up this, we're friends with AJ Styles, who, by the way, has got a very impressive beer gut going there all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on there, but, tighten up that belt buckle there, son, because he was on the top rope, and I was afraid that, Tommy Dreamer Gravity was going to take over on this guy. But anyway, listen, I think we're headed to a much larger stable. I think this is what they're building. I think the Judgment Day thing is going to become a much bigger thing, and Edge is going to be the spearhead of it. So, he's going to not be doing the heavy lifting. His minions are going to be doing it, and he's going to be sort of in the background. And I think that's where we're headed. Was this match any good? I really don't care for the chemistry of these two guys. Was it a passable match? Sure. Was Rhea Ripley being added to Judgment Day good? It was. She has purpose. She's not just teamed up with lesbian, Liv, and just, living for another day. What was the purpose of that, by the way?
Please tell me that's her actual gimmick now. They're just calling her lesbian Liv.
like it's just like, what was the purpose? They teamed them up. They broke up after 3 weeks. Nobody gave a shit. And poor Rhea has been just flip-flopping ever since she hit the main roster. No drive or purpose. She was dominating in NXT. And finally, it looks like she's landed in a spot where she's going to, actually produce something. So I'm excited to see where the Judgment Day gimmick goes. This feud means nothing, but, hey, was it a good match? I don't really think so.
What are your thoughts, Sheehan?
Edge and AJ don't have any chemistry at all.
No.
And halfway through the match, I feel like a veil was lifted off my face because it was just like, wow. I'm watching this, and like Mark had explained a little earlier, we have like this smoke and mirrors around Edge, where we have this perception of him as being good. And halfway through the match, I'm like, Edge isn't good. Like he's not terrible, but he's not good.
Yeah.
And everything he did was just so overacted and hammy. Like every kick came with a gust of wind. It was just like, what is this?
You feel like somebody took him backstage and be like, you can't go anymore, right? And he's like, I know. He's like, but you want to be here, right? Yeah.
So you have to be deliberate.
You're in the stage of your career now where you have to cover for the fact that you can't go with a lot of nonsense. Yeah. Like he's Rip Taylor and he's just throwing confetti in people's eyes. Like there was a point where Rip Taylor's whole career was throwing the confetti. And like it stopped being jokes. It was just it was like I
didn't know it ever was jokes.
Yeah. I mean, well, they were at some on the come up. He actually had like an opinion. You know, he had insight,
he had observations.
Yeah. And then towards the end, it was just like, my whole thing is throwing confetti now. Ah! Oh, look, he did the thing! He did the thing! Ah! You know? Like Sam Kinison, like he had a point of view, he had insight, and by the end, he was just screaming.
Yeah.
Because that's, do the thing. Andrew Dice Clay, do the
smash
nursery
the
rhyme.
Watermelons. Yeah.
Smash, Gallagher, smash the watermelons. Like, but I have
Gilbert Godfrey yelling.
Yeah. God rest his soul.
Yes.
And that's what Edge is now. Edge has gotten to the point where all he's got left is the confetti.
That's it.
But can he do a promo? He's barely carrying that off. I mean, let's talk about Edge just for 1 second, and we'll get out of this quick. But Edge went from a tag team match with his wife against Miz and Maurice to they're such a great team, and I can't wait to see the husband and wife team up again, to all of a sudden turning to this Judgment Day character where he's like partially the Brood, the leader of this brand new faction with Damian Priest, but it happened overnight with no explanation, and I keep feeling that this transition has been rough because there's no storyline going on here to explain it. Yeah. It's just 1 week is just like, oh, now Edge has a new attitude. Okay, I got a new fucking attitude too. I hate you. How about that?
I don't
know. Well, for Edge it is. He's Canadian. I try to keep my Canadian love in house, but I can't. I can't anymore.
This Chris Bailey's just up late at night. He's sitting crisscross applesauce on his roof. His wife's like, "Come down." He's like, I hate him so much, but he's Canadian.
That's right. We got to keep our Canadian brothers in a positive light, but I just can't do it.
I think Christine and I would disagree with you. I mean, as Americans,
we love every American.
No, we don't. That's
every single American.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Especially of a different race. That's what we're known for in this country. Different religion.
We are treading on bad territory here.
You know what I like about our country the most is how politically we're different, but we like all political sides.
It's true. We are very accepting of other opinions and thoughts, and we're willing to listen.
We always accept the results of free elections.
This is part of our new gimmick. Total politically correctness.
Yep.
It's for the new network. Like we cleaned up our act.
And truthfulness, Bailey. We always
yes.
And I'm going to pay even more taxes this year just to have
What I like about the United States is that we really have a nice tight budget. And it's just well spent
and the people
money.
In charge know what they're doing. It's
yes.
great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, really, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat in the White House, it's exuding confidence and competency is what the United States does best.
I mean, every dollar
I'm drowning in snarkiness over here, guys. I'm actually starting to drown.
I was just going to
say, guys, it's all about positivity.
Every dollar I spend fills a pothole in, I'm sure. But Edge sucks.
It's a little thick in here.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the most truthful thing said in the last 5 minutes.
It's true.
Speaking of it's true, Ronda Rousey defeated Charlotte Flair in an I Quit match. I'm not gonna lie. I by this point in the show, I had changed locations in my house, and I was having a conversation with my wife, and I was a smidgen distracted. But from what I saw, Ronda Rousey beat that ass. Am I wrong, Christian?
No, this was a lot better than the Mania match.
Yes.
The Mania match was, we talked about it during the show. There was like, the chemistry was just so weird between the two of them. And it just didn't gel. Here, it gelled very, very well. The only missed opportunity here is to have someone, I mean, she's a big Piper fan. We had someone with a microphone asking if people quit. Why we needed some sort of Piperisms in there. It's like, well, what do you say? What do you say? We needed that, like
you needed to hit Charlotte with a coconut,
or just like flick someone in the nose, like you quit. But it was a decent enough match, and I think it didn't hurt Charlotte to lose since she literally broke her arm in the match.
Charlotte at this point has won so much. I mean, again, I always use my kids as a barometer because they'll watch what I get them to watch, but they're not like super fans or anything. And when you can't even get the 11-year-old feminist to cheer Charlotte, like my daughter's reaction to her is so visceral. We did talk about this at WrestleMania too. Like anytime Charlotte wrestles, just like I don't care who beats her, as long as someone does. Because she's got that John Cena thing now with LOL, Cena wins. That's my daughter with Charlotte. It's like LOL, Charlotte wins. So so again, when she loses, it's actually more of a novelty and more exciting than when she wins, where we're all like, yeah, and the sky is blue and the sun always sets in the all of that.
Do we think she's long for this world?
It's a good question. Is she still with
Andrade? Yeah, I think
Andrade?
I think they actually are like literally engaged now.
I mean, that seems to be the pattern, right? Your girlfriend gets a job in AEW, and everyone eventually gets sick of the WWE and quits and joins the Paramore.
Yeah.
So,
and her dad and the WWE aren't exactly on the best of terms right now.
So. Nor AEW and their dad. I mean, they've done everything. Every company has gotten rid of Ric Flair like a dirty shirt. It's just like, oh, we don't talk about Ric Flair. My God, did he exist?
Is House of Hardcore still a thing? He can get a job there, I'm sure of it.
He can get it. Well, I don't know. I don't even think Game Changer Wrestling would take him. I mean, if you hear some of their commentary, they're like I know we're known for stabbing people with light bulbs, but look, you got to treat the gays with respect around here. And before this was an actual line said at For the Culture, Sheehan. You'll get a kick out of this. There was an all black show, celebrating black wrestlers. She really showcasing them, and the commentary team was all black. It was called For the Culture, and one of the guy goes, and I just want to say that before we were wrestlers and managers and referees, we were black. Like perfect. So
what?
And
does that even mean?
So exactly what it says.
Before we started this podcast, I think we were all white.
You were definitely Canadian.
Oh man, shut your face.
What?
What's that all about?
I speak the truth. In any case, what did you think of the match, Bailey, between Charlotte and Ronda?
Much better than WrestleMania, like you said. It seemed at WrestleMania that Charlotte could not figure out the offense of Ronda Rousey. So, when she'd do those flip moves into the armbar, it seemed like Charlotte had no idea what she was trying to do. It's like, what is this idiot climbing up on my shoulder trying to roll around? What the hell are you doing? And Ronda's like, well, you just roll down and put yourself in the armbar. This seemed a lot more fluid. It seemed a lot more, we had those spots where, Charlotte would pop on the figure eight and she would bridge up and, they'd ask Ronda if she wanted to quit and she goes, never, bitch. You know what I mean? And it's just, it was a good show. And I was surprised that they didn't change the belt at WrestleMania. But you know what? This show needed something. And at least it had a historical title change. And Ronda Rousey becomes the new women's champion here. So I thought it was a much better match than it deserved to be. Honestly, their chemistry has improved, unlike the Edge AJ situation.
To go back to what you were saying before, whether she stays or she goes, if she acts like an asshole, Charlotte Flair's gonna find herself in the same position as Tessa Blanchard.
Oh, well, yeah, she's like untouchable now, huh?
Yeah, in that no one wants to touch her. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like I heard someone say, like, if you want to enjoy a match of hers, you need to learn Spanish because she'll only be wrestling in Mexico.
Well, she needs to go to GCW where they're rehabbing old people like Jeff Jarrett and all these people.
But again, I think GCW is like too politically correct for them.
Let me tell you something.
Stabbing people with light bulbs.
Next show they'll have Tessa Blanchard and they'll open the show with Ric Flair doing a helicopter. Trust me.
I think maybe a different. Dude, the pro wrestling has gotten so woke.
Oh my God! Did Mark Radulich did that utter from your mouth? My God!
I speak the truth. Sir.
You are Comicsgate. That's what you are.
I got your Comicsgate down here in my pineapple bathing suit that I'm wearing. What?
What the hell is happening?
Pineapples are a perfectly nice fruit to have in your bathing suit. Well, listen to me.
Ethan Van Radulich. Go ahead.
Anywho, my point is like so much of like even like the independent culture in wrestling is very much like, ooh, I mean, like you gotta remember we're not that far removed from fucking the dick spot guy being a sex pervert, and we're not that far removed from every English wrestler being sent to go into the ocean because they were all a bunch of sex perverts. I mean.
Oh my!
And I don't know how often these days we're having more like sex pervert stories breaking out. So yeah, Tessa Blanchard's not getting a job in GCW. They're super sensitive about that sort of thing. Ric Flair's not getting a job in GCW because now fucking Dark Side of the Ring. Dark Side of the Ring outed him so badly they had to cancel that show.
Yeah.
Have you heard this?
I heard rumors
I think
of
it's
it,
back.
but yeah, I think they brought it back like right after that tweet came out.
Yep.
Really?
They did. They really brought it back. Yeah, seriously.
We canceled and then we changed our minds.
100% immediately.
The rare uncancellation in current year.
Everything is stupid. All right. So the point, all the way back to Charlotte Flair, she has to behave herself or no one's going to want to hire her. At this point, it's like, I think a lot of wrestling companies, I don't think there's anybody out there right now with the exception of like Brock Lesnar and maybe like a handful of others where it's like, we're willing to put up with your nonsense because you're worth it. I don't think there's a whole, I think it's like 98 to 2%. 98% no one gives a shit. We just won't, just won't work here. Yeah. No one, 98% not worth it. All right, which is just a rousing indictment of the wrestling industry right now. Madcap Moss defeated Happy Corbin. On my fucking kids, I don't know what happened in this match, Sheehan. I have no clue. Again, I was in the middle of dealing with stuff. I don't know what happened here. I didn't even know that they wrestled. That's the first time I'm reading that. No lie.
They wrestled.
I'll bet they did, Ollie.
It's a bad. I mean, you know how like feuds, like you know the barbershop window, right? You know, like we were a team, we were a unit for years. We were inseparable. We were brothers from other mothers.
Right.
They're trying
we
to
banged
treat this
a lot
bullshit.
Of women and did a lot of cocaine.
Of course, they're trying to treat this bullshit like that. It's like they were together for 5 minutes,
right?
And like you saw them on screen together when they were on the Happy Corbin talk show. It's like, who gives a shit?
He had a talk show.
He did.
I bet if I was at the Performance Center, I'd get called up to the main roster and be given a talk show in like days.
Seconds. Yeah. No, it's like because I only know it because of the lead up, the preview, the stupid little trailer they did. Right. But yeah, it's like Madcap Moss was being taken advantage of by Corbin, and then Madcap made jokes about Corbin, which he did not like. And then
this is the same Madcap Moss that makes these weird yip noises and like has yellow suspenders, a white belt, and brown shoes with red socks. This is the guy. Like, what are they doing?
The current Andre the Giant Battle Royal champion. Yeah. Yeah. This was a match that happened on the show. That when they cut to this preview, I was just like, what? You know
what spot it was in, right? It's in the girl spot.
Yeah, it's in the
yes, it is.
Spot. Yeah.
They become the heaters, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yep. How Baron Corbin went from the black hole slam and looking like a badass with balding but still a badass with long hair and a leather jacket.
Yep.
And he just beat the fuck out of people to Ruby Tuesday's manager. To this. I mean, it's not like the WWE ruins people's careers or anything.
I think we've got like the current year Kane. Like the guy who just takes all the crap, and he'll still wind up in the Hall of Fame because he won't say anything,
bad. He's become, I think, more so than talent, more so the ability to do a promo. What the WWE values is fealty.
Eating shit and liking it.
Fealty above all. Bailey knows what I'm talking about. Lord of the Rings, you had the Steward of Gondor, and he's just like, I demand fealty and for you to kiss the ring. Meanwhile, shit's on fire. Orcs are running through, killing the women. That's the WWE now. The WWE is the Steward of Gondor.
Yeah, this is a bit much. I mean, you talk about Baron Corbin, who's just been flushed down the toilet as a character with this Happy Corbin character. I mean, it was a funny little gimmick spot first when he was doing it with the talk show with Moss, and both men have done nothing to separate themselves. So they've split up. Are they going to, go back to the roots and change characters? It doesn't look like it. It looks like these two idiots who are hard to take serious are going to continue on in these characters. This is Moss who they're trying to push. And would you push this guy? I mean, let's be fair. Like in his current setup, this is a recipe for disaster. And Moss actually got the win here with, by God, a sunset flip, clean in the middle of the ring.
Because it's 1982.
I love it. I was like, woo! Ricky Morton is happy.
It feels like
he sold that bitch out.
they wanted one less like discrepancy between current WWE and the video game. So it's like, sorry, we can't change your gimmick yet. We know you broke up and you're a babyface now, but we got to keep you in the stupid gimmick because it's in the video game and half of AEW's in there right now. So we got to keep coming straight.
You know what? You know what? There's actually they're hesitant to change out characters because they just released the action figure of Moss and he's on the game and we can't just make that game irrelevant, so he's got to ride it out for 6 months.
How many meetings are now going? How can we decrease the lag time between products and actual stories? Like,
you'd hope, right?
I can't. Every week they're having this meeting. They're like, "Come on, like stuff. The game comes out and we've changed stories 3 times already. We need to that's all they care about."
I think there's more AEW guys in the game than WWE guys. It's ridiculous.
If they were smart, they would make the base wrestler action figure naked, and you could buy the accessories. So when they change gimmicks, you can just change them. Yeah, they can change them out.
It's all paper dolls now. Yeah,
everyone.
Moss is now hole in one. Moss.
You basically just have like a white doll and a black doll, and it's just a muscular man.
Yep.
That's hilarious. I'm telling you, that's money. That's very funny, actually.
I can't wait until they actually do that now. It's just like, get the new WWE. You create your own.
The creator wrestler.
You could make Roman Reigns with this fake beard and long hair. Army vest.
These lick-on tattoos.
Featuring our new color-changing wrestler. You can put it in water. It's black. You dry it off. It's white.
Oh my God!
It's Samoan.
That would be brutal. So good.
Shake it, it's Chinese. Alrighty. Oh, hang on. I'll do it myself. Moving on.
That said, I think we just made the wrestling industry $1 million with that idea.
Yeah, so the unpaid intern just ran into Vince's room. There's like an intern-sized hole in the wall. Vince, I have the solution to all the things. These 3 snarky assholes on a podcast no one listens to came up with a brilliant idea.
It is brilliant. Oh boy.
Alrighty. Speaking of brilliant, the Bloodline.
A 3-way in the main event.
That's what she said.
Jeez. Well, with current information, I'm wondering. Wait a minute. Go ahead.
You can keep on wondering, and I'll fill you in later.
Oh my God! What's happening? What is happening?
First of all, this is a family show. Okay, I will talk to you later. Calm down. Keep your pants on and your hands out of them. The Bloodline, featuring, speaking of keeping your hands out of your pants, Roman Reigns and the Usos versus Drew McIntyre. And RK Bro, featuring Randy Orton and the Riddle.
Ugly Riddler.
I mean, these are all like competent guys, all guys that can work, all guys that work together, and all guys that have been in high stakes, high level matches. They know how to put on a main event. This was the main event, and I think it delivered as WWE monthly specialty shows deliver. That's a long way of saying it was fine. It was exactly what it needed to be. You went to the deli, you ordered your ham on rye, you got ham on rye. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't know. I think I'm a little bit more high on this match than you were. I think it's more like extra cheese on that sandwich, man. I think they got themselves in a situation where they got RK Bro super over.
Mm-hmm. You think so?
So, my God, if you saw the reaction of these guys on Monday Night Raw the next night, they even put their little catchphrase in with, RK Bro 420 says we just smoked your ass. I mean, they got catchphrases. They look genuinely pleased to be together. The fans love them. And Riddle, I'm telling you, is a mega star. He is finding his way, man.
Do doves still fly out of his ass?
Yes, multiple on this one, like an extreme amount.
Okay.
His ass was full.
The doves all say Top Gun Maverick on them now.
Oh no, with CGI Val Kilmer.
Yes.
Creepy CGI Val Kilmer.
All right, so I think it was a standard WWE specialty pay-per-view main event. What did you think, Sheehan? And Bailey thinks it's fucking, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Iron Man match. What do you think?
Man,
I'll fall somewhere in the middle there. I thought this was better than an average match for sure. I thought it was a very hot ending to the show. I think everybody did their job really, really well here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hoo-ha in the main events, right? With, table breaking and all this sort of stuff. Everything that happened here felt like it was supposed to happen. It felt like it was methodical in a way. I mean, Roman even like low-key broke out a rock bottom.
Wow.
Michael Cole called it a uranagi. Pat McAfee, who we haven't talked enough about Pat McAfee here, who must be living his best life. He sounds like he's having a blast calling these shows here. He called Happy Corbin the big dog, and then he was like, oops, I didn't mean that. He is phenomenal. He just does not give a shit. And he's fun.
Yeah, he's good. He is fun.
He's their best commentator they've had in years.
He might be the 100%. Best commentator like I've heard in many, many years.
Well, think about it. You always want the voice of the people. But he's actually the voice of the people. Like he's a fan. Yeah. He's a fan enjoying what's in front of him, and it doesn't feel scripted, which is, I think, what we wanted all the time.
Yeah. When the fight went to the outside, he's like, guys, is that the Fiend in the front row?
Oh, yikes! No!
It was a
low blower.
Yeah, it was insane. But he called the move the rock bottom, which, I mean, they could play that off if we do get that Rock and Roman match down the line.
Yeah,
which I think is like the only way this could go. Roman, he's been given the keys, he's been given the car, he's been given everything, and he's carrying it. He's doing really, really well here. This character where, like we talked about, Edge maybe in real life taking a step back to let people do his bidding. Here we got Roman in kayfabe doing the same thing, where he tags in to start the match. He's like, screw it. Tags back out. It's like, I'm not going to do it. They want it. I'm not going to give it to them.
Right.
It's just such a phenomenal character here. And despite the fact that he's like acting douchier than 5 Cody Rhodeses, I want him to win.
Yes.
I agree. Want to root for him.
It's so funny. He's following in his cousin. I think it's his cousin's like footsteps. Isn't that what happened with The Rock? It was like he was just the world's biggest asshole on the come up, and he didn't change a thing about himself. Like, everyone wanted him to win. Everyone wanted to cheer for him because we love it. We like girls. We love an asshole, and we want to fix it.
Wait a minute.
Billy's like, I'm in trouble again.
Man.
No, but this was and I think it helped everybody. The Usos looked fantastic, and they weren't fighting the New Day again, so that's great. Yeah. Riddle, despite being homely, he is fantastic. Orton, despite growing a Predator mustache, in addition to being an Apex Predator, he's
actually a Predator.
He's going to start coming to the ring in a Camaro in a denim jacket.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think he started. I think he took over RF Video with RO Video, Randy Orton Video, and was taking Rob Feinstein's spot as the creepy lurker.
Pretend you said 18, yeah. But Randy, I mean, seeing Randy being just embraced by this crowd for his 20 years or whatever it is, it was nice to see, and the fact that he seems to be enjoying himself resonates. So
the most that I've ever seen in his career, he's like Brock Lesnar. He's living his best life, man. You look at Brock Lesnar this year, and he is loving coming to that ring.
Oh yeah, he's having a blast.
And same with Orton. It's great.
And they've actually brought Drew McIntyre back after 17 years of him fighting Baron Corbin.
He's back
50 matches.
He's back, and by God, he loses again. All right.
He doesn't get the pin, but he does. He's on the losing side. But the fact that Roman was selling fear for him,
people like to watch him
said
wrestle,
a lot.
And that's the thing.
They do.
Whether or not he wins, I mean, you can't get away with that forever. But in the interim, a guy like Drew doesn't lose much by losing because people want to see him wrestle, and now they'll pay money again to see him get his see Roman Reigns get his comeuppance from Drew McIntyre.
Roman acting like a chicken shit heel. I mean, there's no reason for Roman to be acting that way, but with Drew, he's putting Drew over by being afraid of him, and I think everybody grew from this match, and that's
it's like the Triple H Cactus Jack thing. Triple H said, if I hadn't reacted the appropriate way to seeing Cactus Jack, the whole thing falls apart. Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
So
I like the ending in this one. So you said you know in movies where you see someone step out in the street and the train just fucking destroys them
Sure.
out of nowhere. That's basically what happened here. You had Riddle on the top rope. He executed a perfect RKO from the top, and then Reigns speared the shit out of him for the win. It was perfect, beautiful, and I
Spit a
really
kidney across the room. Yeah.
yeah, it's like okay, that's a good end to this match, and Roman deserves to win this. And I was okay with the ending, even though heels went away with the victory and the bloodline get to celebrate again. But you can't deny it. You're like, man, RK Bro and Drew came close, but man, Roman Reigns shut the door, and I really liked it.
Well, folks, that is our review of WrestleMania Backlash. We will be back for Hell in the Cell, which is June 5th, a couple of days after my birthday. We will be reviewing it on June 7th. And then July 2nd, oh boy, make sure I have my screen up this time so we don't get kicked off of YouTube for 3 months. We'll be doing an alternative commentary for Money in the Bank. Are you excited, Christian?
Oh, totally. Money in the Bank is one of the well, it used to be one of the more exciting shows of the year. Hopefully it will be again.
I'm excited to do alternative commentary with this time with my screen up so that I don't get kicked off of YouTube.
I just hope they're doing it in the Titan Tower again.
I hope, and they start throwing people off the building yet again.
Yes.
I want them to do like the Roger Rabbit thing, where like you just follow the camera all the way down. Yeah. What about you, Bailey? Is your wife gonna let you come out and play Saturday night, July 2nd, for Money in the Bank?
Man, I think I can make that happen. I think you can write me down, brother.
All right, make sure
I can't wait for it. Should be fun.
Make sure you don't have your TVs facing your camera. Okay.
God.
It's going to reflect in my glasses.
We're going to get another copyright strike.
Well, listen. YouTube is one step away from Discord in the ranks of shitty streaming services. So they can do whatever they want to me. If they want to shut me down, go right ahead. Middle finger and aya.
No, it's a new day here at American Whammy. No.
Oh, that's right. What I meant to say was, guys, we really got to get our act together here so we can stay on YouTube. Yes.
In the meantime, get me in trouble. Tonight, myself, Alexis Hayner, Robert Winfrey, and Dave Wright will be reviewing Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Missed Opportunities. Can I? No,
the multiverse of overwhelming expectations.
That too. Can I just say that I fancy you, Christian? I do. I fancy you.
Oh, he's trying to lure you, Sheehan.
But more than that,
that's big.
He's trying to bed you.
It is, but that's all the conversation.
Everybody's got a price.
Yes,
but more than fancy, I envy you because you're like religiously, zealously, like into comic books, and you're like, fuck television and fuck these movies, and especially fuck these comic book movies.
Oh yeah,
like they look at the world and they go, make more comic book movies for the comic book fans. And Chris Sheehan says, no, take your movies and shove them up your ass.
Totally.
And I envy
sideways.
Yes. And I envy you that you're like, they made two Doctor Strange movies. What the fuck? Why? I envy you that you
why is right.
I envy you that you ignore all this crap because boy, have you escaped the morass that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And what
I'm hoping that we're just having the first couple dominoes tip. We just get them gone.
Yeah,
go the way of the Western.
You did not live through the expectations of seeing every character ever in the history of superhero movies not show up in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So
I mean, I read the Infinity Gauntlet. That had a lot of heroes in it. I read Crisis. That had a lot of heroes in it. I don't need to see that shit on its screen.
And that is why I envy and fancy. Anyway, speaking of things I envy and fancy, tomorrow on the Metal Hammer of Doom, we will be reviewing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Chris Bailey. Like, fuck you.
Oh,
anyway,
I mean,
boo.
One thing at a time.
What an asshole.
Anyway, Fozzy Boombox, or as I like to call Auto-Tune the album. We'll be reviewing that tomorrow. And speaking of things that Christine is actively ignoring and probably didn't even know existed, this Thursday,
Chris Bailey.
Myself and Evan Bevins, who is next to godliness, as we all know. He walks among angels. He's good to his mother. Some language, and I will be reviewing Moon Knight, Did you know that, Sheehan? Did you know there was a Moon Knight show?
I see people trying to exploit the fact that there's a Moon Knight show by pointing people to their crappy blogs sometimes.
Okay. And
Not
Hello,
Evan.
Mark.
Not Evan.
Hello,
Not
Stephen.
Evan.
And
Not
do you-
Evan. Evan's got a good blog, but I'm seeing a lot of Moon Knight exploitation, almost as much as I'm seeing George Perez exploitation right now.
you
Ooh.
walk around your house and just kick things, screaming, "Moon Knight's been around for 100 years, you fuckers!" And no one paid attention.
Yeah.
I've intentionally held off on the George Perez tweets. Like I literally didn't want any part of being that guy who's trying to catch tweets off of his death. And you know what? Rest in peace, George Perez, because you were a great fucking artist, man.
Absolutely. We had Adam exploitation 2 weeks ago. We have got Perez exploitation now. If you want the pity clicks for your blog by exploiting a dead man, maybe find another hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know if there was going to be more. I was giving.
Oh no!
I was
We
giving
could go into more, but
Oh, listen, man. Hashtag we stand with Ukraine. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. What? Oh shit! Sorry. That was me trying to get some tweets there.
Remove from box. All right. So check out Doctor Strange, Fozzie, and Moon Knight this week. Last night, Evan Bevins and I hung out and we reviewed the original Firestarter with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, baby.
Prodigy.
Yes. So that or the film Firestarter. So check that out. That's up in the archives now. Go ahead, Chris Bailey. Are we doing the Super Blog team up? Because I've already recorded mine. Are you going to?
Yes, we are. We are. Yes, it is. It is. Anyway, I'll get back to everybody on that today.
Okay.
Jesus, it's a pain in my ass. But anyway, I'm trying to figure some stuff out logistically with different things, and every time I set a date, it just goes away.
The date that I have currently is May 18th.
Yes, that's fine. That's where I am right now, so don't worry about it.
All right. Well, that's when my shit's going up because I'm not delaying this any further.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
Going up May 18th, whether this team up or not.
I'm doing it.
Perfect. Anything else you're going on?
Oh my God, no, absolutely not. I mean, I'm here recording out of a basement, and listen, I'm officially breaking up with you. By the way, that's it. We're broke up
through a text.
Yeah, you and through a text. I'm going to send you a DM later, and you know what? You and Sheen have a good life.
Could you please go real old school and send it by carrier pigeon?
I have a seagull here. If you want to do that, that's fine. Listen. This was a fun show, guys. I every time we get together, I have a blast. So awesome. Thank you.
No matter how many times I get broken up through text a day, I always enjoy hanging out with you guys. You guys put a big smile on my face.
Oh man, it was fun.
Yep. All right. Speaking of bringing up with me through text, Chris Sheehan, do your plugs.
Sure. Chris is on InfiniteEarths.com. It's the new look. Chris is on InfiniteEarths.com. I finally updated.
It is nice.
Are you fancy
Thank you. I am wildly fancy. Actually, I look like I've upgraded from 2003 to like 2008. Awesome. So we're getting there. Getting there. But right now, I am just wrapping up the X-Men Vignettes series, 45 installments, all the backups from classic X-Men, including one from Marvel Fanfare that was an inventory story that was supposed to appear but didn't, but it did now. Also looking at Dazzler. A few times a week, looking at the old 1981 Dazzler series, doing a whole boatload of history on that, as it was Marvel's first direct market exclusive comic. There was a lot of moving parts there, a lot of interesting stuff to dig into. So I've been digging into that, and of course there is X-Lapsed. It's not daily anymore, probably never will be again, but it's coming out again. People don't care, but it's out, and I'm catching myself up on the X-Men books that I fell off of a couple weeks ago. So we're catching back up. We're going through the X Lives and Death of Wolverine, and recently read, spoiler alert, Maura McTaggart skin Banshee and wear his skin.
Yes.
To pass through a portal. So
that seems gross.
Death means nothing in the X universe.
Death means nothing. Relationships mean nothing. It's
my 8-year-old son said the same thing about the Marvel movies. He was like, I can't get into these movies. Everyone dies and comes back to life.
Yeah, it's
welcome to comics.
Yep,
welcome to comics.
Yeah. All right, folks. We hope you have enjoyed the Podsman's take on the WWE as much as I have, because we are quite insightful. So for Chris Sheehan, for Chris Bailey, who sits on his rooftop, crisscross applesauce, And his wife shouts out to him, "But why, Chris?" And he says, because I must know Tommy." And she's like, "Who the fuck is Tommy?"
What is happening? What is happening?
We are the Podsmen. I'm Mark Radulich. Tune in next for our next review for Hell in the Cell. Be well, be safe, and behave.